Matthew Holt, it's all your fault.
How can you possibly know? What evidence do you have?
I do have evidence. There's
What?
a Twitter poll that's up here right now, and it says that 63.6% of voters believe that it's your fault. Find out what you did on the June 29th episode of Health in 2.00.
So is this like the Monty Python sketch when the guy takes his punishment but has no idea what he did?
No, this is just simply a new way to assign blame. I figured. I felt pretty convinced that it was your fault. And indeed, when I took it to Twitter, my feelings were confirmed by the findings of our little poll.
All right. So I'm glad to hear that. Is this preemptive or post? Have I already done something wrong, or is this because of the next thing I do?
Yes, remember when we were arguing and I said it was all your fault and you said it couldn't possibly? Well, that's when I set up the Twitter poll. All
right. So I am taking the blame.
It couldn't possibly be my fault. Oh, it possibly could. 63.4% of voters agree. All right, let's do these funding deals. All right, AlayaCare, they get 225 Canadian millions of dollars. They are a home care software company, brings their total up to 293 million Canadian. What do you think about this, Matthew?
So I don't know much about home care agencies and software, but there was a company called ClearCare, which grew pretty fast and got bought out by a company called WellSky a couple of years back, which was is a private equity TPG-backed sort of roll-up of the post-acute, technology post-acute phase. There are a couple of others in this space as well, including the one that bought Collective Medical, whose name I'm blanking on as well. So there's a bunch of stuff going around in sort of post-acute nursing home, EMR, agency software. I assume they think there's a big deal as more stuff moves to the home. The Canadian dollar is real. Who knows?
Oh my God, they totally are. All right, how about this one? Health Catalyst has acquired Twistle. Is that how you said Twistle?
Twistle.
Twistle. I couldn't get it out. Twistle for $104 million. And then there's like some extra bonusing out if certain milestones are missed. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so Twistle was a SMS company. We had them at Health Tour a couple of times. They're basically a patient communication texting company, mostly focusing on the underserved, but it looks like they're going to be wrapped into, I think that texting stuff is becoming a commodity, and it's going to be wrapped into other services. Health Catalyst, which primarily does analytics and stuff inside the hospital, is going to start helping reach out to those patients. So it seems a good deal. Doesn't sound, they raised 37 million, selling for 100 doesn't sound like a great deal. Maybe they'll make their investors a bit of a return, but not a big deal, I don't think.
All right, HIMSS acquires a teledermatology company called Apostrophe. This has both the clinical care delivery side of it via telehealth and the pharmacy delivery. What do you think?
I'm surprised they didn't do it directly themselves, but why not? They only had raised $6 million, so probably not a huge acquisition for HIMSS, which is doing okay as a public company. But yeah, more of this stuff, dermatology. I was it. Send me a drug.
All right, Spiras Health gets 14 million. They do in-home chronic care. They've got a deal with Clover. What do you think about this?
You told me. You told the audience the only thing I know about Spiras. It's another in-home chronic care management company. Obviously, we have Medically Home and those folks who are on the way to doing who are doing sort of more and more intensive stuff. You have HRS and a whole bunch of other people current who are doing sort of in-home remote monitoring. There's more action than that. They've been around a little while. It's the first real money they raised. It is NEA, which is kind of like one of the traditional superstar VCs in Silicon Valley. And yes, he said they have a deal with Clover, which may be a good thing. Clover has been an interesting place of late, so we will find out.
Their interview, I did an interview with Vivek Garipaldi, the CEO, like 2 years ago at Health 2.0, more than 2 years. And that is trending on my channel right now. So I don't know what's going on over there, but you know how I feel about that WTF Health YouTube channel. All the due diligence that gets done, people looking for jobs, people looking for lawsuit information.
Well,
come to the source, baby.
When it's Clover, right, it's like, where the hell's the stock been? At that day where it became a meme stock, it rallied from 6 to 8, got up to 25. It was a massive sale at 25 or 28, drove it all the way back down. It's bouncing around between 11 and 12 and 13 now. Who knows where it's going to end up? It's certainly a very interesting situation. I won't say much more.
Situation. Like our Twitter poll, also an interesting situation. To check that out and see how voting results come in, The poll closes in 24 hours. So by the time people are watching this, we'll have some final
I'm
results.
retweeting it now.
Oh, fine, refresh it. But if you check in on this, I'm at Jess Tomasa on Twitter and he is over at Bolty Boy. And hey, I think that we should renew this whole concept of the blame poll for our conference, a virtual conference, Policies, Techies, and VCs. What's next for healthcare? People check out that lineup that we have been building over there at what'snexthealthcare.com. Holy moly, do we have everybody and their brother speaking.
And there'll be a whole bunch more released later this week.
Yeah, and the second release of speakers is just as good as the first release was. So yeah, check that out. And also subscribe to the healthcareblog.com's newsletter over there at thehealthcareblog.com. And you can find all of the information you'll need about our conference, WTF Health, and these cute little Health in 2.0 shows, plus some great stories from the editorial team at the blog delivered directly into your inbox. What's the poll at now?
I'm sure I'm going to win eventually.
You only have 2 Twitter handles that you can use to vote, and you already tried to win like early voting.
I was trying to do the Donald Trump thing, like claiming, stop the count at 1 vote. But unfortunately, by the time I'd voted, somebody else had already voted for you, or either voted that I was to blame. So
Hashtag
I've never
Team
been
Jeff.
ahead of the count. I've never been ahead of the count. I think I'm screwed.
I see you out there. Thanks, everybody. All right, we'll catch you next time on the next Health in 2.0. Bye.